This is part 2 of the How to Build a More Organized Baking and Sweets Business series. All right. If you haven't seen the series, definitely go back and watch part 1, and parts 3 through 5 are already out. And this is actually a recap. This is me doing a replay, a repeat of part 2. But I want to make sure that everything is crystal clear. I've got my new camera set up and everything. So I wanted to make sure that you guys got all the points. So welcome. This is the Sugar Coin Academy YouTube channel. I am Sid, the head instructor of the Sugar Coin Academy, and my background is in finance and accounting, and everything that I talk about is to help you guys learn how to start and grow profitable baking and sweets businesses. I see in the chat that there are quite a few Sugar Coin Academy members already on the broadcast. If you're not a member, definitely check out sugarcoins.com. There's a ton of business content already pre-recorded out there. You're going to want to check it out because there is stuff on creating your own order forms, creating your contract, how to build your business and all that good stuff. There's hours and hours of stuff already out there, but that's not why you're here. Today, this is part 2 of the How to Build a More Organized Baking and Sweets Business. All right, so I'm going to jump right into it. Number 1, the one thing that I want you to remember out of everything that I say is that you have to have a clear, organized ordering process. And when I say that, I mean it should not take 3 different clicks. It should not take 5 different steps in order for people to place an order with you. It should be as simple and straightforward and clear cut as possible. Of course, if you have heard me talk at any time on any part of the internet, you have already heard me talk about online order forms. And of course, I'm going to talk about order forms here. But my main takeaway for you today is to make sure that you walk through your own ordering process. See what your customers are seeing and see if there would be deterrents for you as a customer. Like if you were your own customer, would you at some point in your ordering process be deterred? And that means stop, find someone else. Would it be that you in the middle of your process would get so frustrated about how to find the right buttons, get so frustrated as to figure out what steps you're supposed to take, that you would just leave the process completely? And if you get that frustrated and you're the person that created it, I can only imagine what your customers are feeling when they come to your website. And this actually may help you get more orders. Matter of fact, I know it will help you get more orders over time if you have a more clearly defined ordering process. Okay, so that's the one takeaway that I want you to have, is that you need to figure out how to streamline the process. Number 1, my main way of saying to streamline a process is to have an order form. There are so many other ways that you can go about it, but especially if you are brand new to this game, if you haven't invested or if you don't have a lot of money to invest in getting a website or an online store, which we are going to talk about those as well. If you don't have a whole bunch of money and you're in the startup phase, then getting an order form and creating an order form process is going to be hands down the best step for you. Okay. My number 1 go-to order form is JotForm. Matter of fact, inside of the Sugar Coin Academy, we've actually gone through a training of how to build a form using JotForms. Yes, you could use Google Forms. You could use Airtable. You could use so many other apps out there. But the reason why I love JotForm is because you can connect payments. All right. Hear me now. You can connect payments. That means before the person is able to click the submit button, they actually have to put in credit card information and pay you at least a deposit in order to move forward with the ordering process. All right. If you do not have an order form, I highly recommend that you get one. You don't have to use JotForm, but in the least, create an order form. And again, the reason why I like JotForm is because you can connect PayPal, Stripe, Square. You can use Authorize.net. You can use so many different payment processors by connecting it to your JotForm. But again, I want you to be able to create and to collect money as easily as possible. Okay, so that number 1 thing was creating an order form. What are you going to put on your order form? I go through all of that over on the Sugar Coin Academy. So become a Sugar Coin Academy member and you can actually watch that training. But in the least, you should have contact information, and you should be able to standardize whatever it is that people are going to order from you. Okay. What does standardized mean? Again, go check that out over on Sugar Queen Academy. All right. So you have an order form. The other thing that's really great about your order form is that there's going to be a direct link that you can send to people. And that direct link is going to make that order process really easy. So you guys, I'm trying to tell you, I have been in this position before where people are reaching out to me on direct messenger, on Facebook, on Instagram, through text message, through email. They're coming out the blue. They're coming from all different sources, and they're asking for help for one thing or another. Well, because it got super confusing, and because I felt like eventually something was going to slip through the cracks, I created a form. I use JotForm for literally everything at this point, right? And this has helped me because it doesn't matter if somebody emails me an inquiry, whether they send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, they send me a text message, it doesn't matter. I can send that same link to people no matter what channel they've reached out to me, and that will filter everything into one place. All right, filters everything into one place. I don't have to remember, did I talk to them on Instagram? Did I talk to them on Facebook? Did I talk to them on Clubhouse? Where did I talk to them? I don't have to remember any of that, because there is no order with me. There is no order if there is no order form. All right, there's no order if there's no order form. All right. So after I've had a conversation with somebody over the phone or over text message or whatever, and I say, this is awesome. I thank you so much for reaching out to me. And this is great information. But before we move forward, just so I make sure I heard every single detail that you wanted for your cake or for whatever the thing is, then if you could just submit this order form to me, then I can have all the details in one place. All right. Again, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Get an order form if you don't have one. All right. So clean order process. I want it to be as simple as possible. And again, that is by using an order form. But also, like I said, go through the user process. All right. So when you go to your website, let's say you have a website. If you don't, again, we have other videos for that. But let's imagine we are the user. All right. We are the potential client. We are the potential customer. When they come to your website, is it easily identifiable where they should go or what they should do in order to place an order? Do this. All right. Go to your website like you are a normal user and be like, okay, if I was a customer and I was getting ready to place an order, is it obvious? Not necessarily by reading. I mean, yeah, there should be a reading of a button and all that kind of stuff, but is it like quickly identifiable? Not that they have to read a whole bunch of instructions and a whole bunch of steps, but is there a button? Is there a link? Is there a navigation somewhere in the navigation bar? Is there a button somewhere on the home page that says press here to order or place an order? Is that on your website? If not, you've already messed up the ordering process. All right. If there's not a clear-cut button that says press here to place an order, or order here in your navigation bar, you've already added too many steps. All right. I'm saying this out of love because I want you to make as much money as possible. All right. And I don't want people to be deterred whenever they come to your website. All right. So you're going to have a link. You're going to have a link that's going to be super easy. You're going to have a button that's going to be super easy. Link is for when people reach out to you. The button is going to be when they come to your website, but it's going to be something that's super straightforward and easy for them. All right. Let's see, before I move on from forms, because I was about to, oh yeah, don't forget, your order form is a living, breathing document, right? I say this very same thing when I talk about contracts. Your order form is a living, breathing document. The order form that you have today is not going to be the order form that you're going to have in even 6 months. It's not going to be the same order form that you're going to have in 2 years, because there's going to be things that shift and change about your business. And also, you are going to learn lessons from the people who are your customers. If you listen to them, they're going to tell you exactly what is missing from your order form. Because when you start to get the same questions over and over and over again, that means that there is something that is missing from your form. Like, for instance, if they ask you about how far in advance, or if they ask you about, or if you are having to go to them and ask them about the color, or if you're having to go to them and ask them about the theme. Well, those are things that should be already on there, right? Because otherwise, you wouldn't be having to go back to these people, right? So like I said, if you want a full list, I have like a whole list of I think it's 15 different items that should be on your standard order form. Now there's order forms too for holidays, right? So Father's Day, Mother's Day, 4th of July, any type of pop-up thing, Christmas, holiday, Thanksgiving, whatever. There's different forms for different seasons, right? If you're going to have a special or something. But what I'm talking about is for your standard order form that's for custom orders. All right. So I think I covered all the points. Connect payments, All right. Also, another way that you can have a clearer, more concise order process is if you have an online store, right? So several different website builders already have it where it's integrated into, the program. So like say if you're Wix, you're on Wix or Squarespace or, Shopify, even Square, you can already have an online store, and you just have to pay a little bit more, right? And that'll open up some features like you can add a dozen cookies, or you can add a dozen cupcakes, or you can add a single tier cake. You can do, so much as long as it is standardized, because it'll be kind of hard to place a custom order for a cake using an online store. Now, there's a couple ways that you can go about it. But for the most part, you want to make sure that you have standardized items that people can order at any time, and that you have the time to fulfill those orders, right? So you may not be in the position to where you are able to fill orders that come in at any time during the week. This may not be your full-time thing. So an online store may not be the best bet for you. However, if this is something that you're trying to make this into your 9 to 5, then think through whether you want to be able to have people place an order and then be able to, you deliver it within the next 24 hours, or they can come and pick up within the next 24 hours or 48 hours, right? The one thing to remember too is usually there is going to be an extra cost when it comes to having an online store, but Square actually has it for free. I repeat, Square actually has their online store available for free. And when I say Square, I mean the people you send your invoices with. Yeah, those people. They actually have where you can create your own online store for free. Right now, there is where you have to pay for an upgrade. So if you want to connect your domain name, or if you want to add in other extra features, bells and whistles, then you are going to have to pay a little bit more. But if you're just getting started and you want to see if it's worth the investment, then I highly recommend looking into the Square store, because it's absolutely free. And then you can set up whether people are going to pick up, whether you're going to deliver, and you can even integrate it with other delivery service apps, right? Let's see. Before I move on, I'm going to check out the chat and see if there's any questions real quick. So far, so good. All right. Cool. Food service apps. That's it. That's what I was going to talk about. Okay, so we talked about order forms. We've talked about order forms. We've talked about online stores. We also need to talk about food service apps. All right, so food service apps: Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, all these other ones, right? So there's these other third-party apps that you can partner with and have people, to come, you can have delivery drivers come to your place of business and pick up your food and deliver it off to your customers. So this is actually going to be a really good benefit for those of you who have storefronts. It may not be as much of a possibility if you have a home-based business, but you need to know the rules in your state. So I'm not going to say you can't do it, because There may be possibilities that you can do it as long as you have your cottage food license and as long as that app allows for that. But it is something to look into, especially if you want to be able to sell online, if you want to be able to reach a bigger audience than what your normal audience is, then partnering with an Uber Eats or a Postmates or some other app like that may be a benefit, but it might not. So you want to weigh the pros and cons. Know the rules in your state, whether you can sell it or not. Also consider the additional fees that may be included, and they may also take a share of the profits as well. So you may want to dig deeper into those. I'm not going to say that that's one of my absolute favorite ways for you to reach new customers or get more orders, but it is a possibility, especially if you are in the growing phase. And also, especially if you have a storefront, it's usually more beneficial for storefronts than it is for home-based businesses. But that's not to say that it can't be possible for home-based businesses, because I know plenty that are very successful at it as well. But they also have made adjustments to their pricing in order to make the most profit possible. All right, so food service apps. Let's see. Make it as easy as possible. Oh, okay. And like I said, walk yourself through the ordering process as if you were the customer. All right, what are going to be the instructions? And also make those instructions clear, whether that is via email, whether that is, having them posted on social media, or whether that is posting it on your website or your blog. All right. So when I say have clear instructions, if there is a multi-step process, definitely make sure that you have written it out clearly to people. But even if it is like a one-step process, you should still make it possible for people to understand what it's about. So if I go to your Instagram right now, and the way that I place an order is by going to the website, then it should clearly say, press the link below, and you have a link that goes to your website, press the link below to place an order. All right. If you don't have a website and you're using a form, you could still use the terminology, press the link below, and that link is going to your order form in order to place an order. All right. If you prefer for people to email you in order to get a quote, then you should have your email written clearly as day on your social media profile. And you say, email us directly for a custom quote. And yes, I know that there are call to action buttons on social media, but also don't assume that every person who uses Instagram or who uses Facebook knows where the call to action buttons are. Make it as clear as day on your profile. All right. So email us directly for a custom inquiry. And then you have your email, sid@sidsweettreats.com. All right. Written out and not just like a button. All right. Because there is a contact button. We all know that, but maybe everybody doesn't know that. All right. You can also say DM me for orders if that's what you want to do. I would really discourage you from saying, do not DM us for orders, because that actually could deter people from reaching out to you for help. I know that it can be kind of overwhelming if you're getting messages from Facebook and Instagram and all these different places. But sometimes when you go to somebody's profile and you see this, there's like an emoji and it's a, mad face person and they're like this, or there's like a red X or something, no DMs. Maybe if we had a different approach, I would prefer for you to email me. Email is the preference. And even if you do receive DMs, which I'm pretty sure people still receive DMs, even though they have that X, then you just literally send them into the order process, which is going to your website, which is using your order form link and all that good stuff. All right. So have clear instructions written out. Make sure that you follow through your own ordering process. And then the last thing that I want to share is that you make sure that you understand what think through what your follow-up process is going to be. Okay. So what is your follow-up process? Whether that is you have JotForm. JotForm actually has an automation process. So as soon as somebody submits that form, then you can send them to a special page on your website that says thank you. Maybe you have a thank you video. You can automatically send them an email that's like a receipt or some type of additional instructions. Maybe it's going to say that you're going to follow up with them in the next 24 to 48 hours. You can have a custom screen that says that they'll, hear back from you in a certain amount of time. But think through what is going to be the process after they hit the submit button. All right. And this is important because this is still part of the user experience. You want people to be excited about the fact that they spent money with you or they're getting ready to place an order with you. You want to make it as engaging as possible, right? You can even say stuff like, we're so excited to receive your order. Follow us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram or whatever it is, the different platform that you prefer to have them connect with you, right? But use as an opportunity to continue the conversation. I really like, you customizing whatever the last screen that they see after they place the order. The other thing too is automating the email process, so having an automatic thank you email that goes to them. Like I said, we cover all of that over in the Sugar Coin Academy's order form class that we just added here recently. And also, you want to make sure that you customize any receipts that they may receive as well. So like if you do the online or like an online store using Square, or you have an online store using Shopify, then make sure that you update your logo, update the wording so that it still has a pleasant customer experience and doesn't feel like this is just straight out of a box and that you didn't really care that they ordered from you. You want to make them feel valued. All right. Whew. Well, y'all, we shared a lot. We shared a lot. I hope you found those helpful. If you found those tips helpful, please push the thumbs up button so that YouTube knows that this information is solid and legit, and so that it continues to push out this information to other people who may be interested in it. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, all right? Make sure that you subscribe so that as soon as we go live, the next time we go live, that you make sure that you are here, or the next time that I upload a new video, then you will know that it is there as well. I also want to stay connected with you. So if you don't follow on Instagram, make sure you go to sweet_fest on Instagram. That's sweet_fest on Instagram, and hang out with me there. I share a lot of content over there as well. And then finally, if you want to know about the next time I go live, so many folks on here probably received a text message from me right before I went live, because they are a part of one of my text message groups. And I will send a text message to you as well to let you know the next time I go live. And you're going to want to text YTBELL, that's YTBELL, to 844-559-9580. All right, just come back to the next video and you'll see it. It's 844-559-9580, and you're going to text YTBELL. All right. I hope you guys found this to be super helpful. If you did, just hit me up over on Instagram at sweet_fest and let me know that you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys around the interwebs. Let me check and see if there's anything you guys have any questions about. Let's see. Oh, right on time. Yes. Hey, Sid. Hello. Guys, make sure to hit that like button. The more likes, the more people know this is live. Awesome. Thank you, Kara. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining and tuning in today. Thank you again for hitting that thumbs up button. Thank you for spending your Monday evening with me and chatting with me. This is I love helping you guys, and I love chatting with you guys. If you are on Clubhouse, make sure to connect with me in the Cake and Sweets Biz Chats Club. We have a room there every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and we just chat about all kinds of fun things. So again, thank you so much for joining, and I will talk to you guys later on. I'll see you on the interwebs. Bye, guys.